it's Doc Severson for the ReadySetCrypto OMNIA newsletter market update for Tuesday, the 10th of December. All right, so we've broken this trend line. I don't know how important this trend line ultimately is going to be. It certainly does fit into the pattern of the bear flag that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, probably setting up. We do have a lower high here. However, the decision box is getting a little bit tighter now. It was fairly large before. Now our decision box is just about 7,700 to the upside and maybe about 7,100 or so to the downside. So we've gotten it down to about 600 points, which is still fairly volatile. Now, what I mean by this is that if by chance, and we got a big move coming here, it's getting even bigger, because what we're seeing is all of this price action is just completely trendless. So we had the same thing up here. Range contraction led to range expansion. And then we're getting the same element now. Range contraction is going to lead to range expansion, or it's going to lead to range expansion. We don't know which way right now. We're starting to lean to the downside. The longer time frame trends, if we pull this out to the weekly chart, is certainly a downtrend, right? So the probabilities do favor the price continuing to leak to the downside. We have tons of energy on the weekly chart. There's no problem with that. However, in conditions like this, especially where we have, well, the BTC shorts are not particularly all that high right now. But when we get conditions like this where it's pretty obvious what's about to happen, a lot of times we'll see the price actually break in the opposite direction. That's exactly what we saw over here. We had a flag break to the downside and then all of a sudden build up too much short interest. And one little news article comes out and completely bakes all these people for 3,000 points. So that's the mixture that we have right now. If we continue to go to the downside, more than likely it's going to be a downside grind, but any move to the upside can become very violent if some type of exogenous news point comes out, which is not already priced into the mix. Nothing much else going on amongst our usual suspects here. Pretty lame day. Going over to swing trades, though, something really interesting today. Kind of the talk of the market was Matic. And you can see how big of a move that this was. I mean, it dropped from 550 sats all the way down to 150. So just completely got crushed. This is that all it takes is one coin to stick its head up and it's just going to get whack-a-mole. I don't know what the news was that caused the distribution, but it just got absolutely crushed today. So this is what happens with these altcoins where we have, strong altcoins in a somewhat tepid market. Keep your eye on SEAL. This is just pulling into a standard consolidation triangle at this point. Very, very common to see this. The problem that we have with this one is the weekly chart is still recovering. So it's going to take at least a couple more weeks to the point where this coin could possibly break out again. So we might see it just continue to coil around into the apex of this triangle for the next week or two. But don't be surprised if we do see a break, because right now there's nothing else moving and capital will tend to attract itself to something moving, kind of like the Eye of Sauron, if you will. All right, folks, that is it for today's report. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.